In today's video, I am going to be breaking down some of the easiest zone defenses that you can run with youth basketball teams. Now, before we go further into this video, I really want to say, if you want to teach your team zone defense first, I would highly advise against that. I would say teach man-to-man defense first before you teach zone, because it's much easier to teach zone defense if your players understand what man-to-man defense is first. It's extremely hard to be able to teach zone and then teach a team man-to-man. It's easier to teach man-to-man first and then zone. So keep that in mind before you run a zone defense with your youth basketball team. Really quickly, if you want a killer, unstoppable, unbeatable basketball zone defense, make sure to go check out the link down in the description below for the unbeatable basketball zone defense. It's absolutely amazing. It doubles the low post, traps the corners, and doesn't leave anybody open. Let's get down. Let's check out these easy zone defenses. So first is a 2-3 zone, but there is a hybrid version that I am going to be showing you for kids only. So when it comes to a 2-3 zone, it can be a very difficult zone to teach properly. I always like to teach my team the perimeter options first when it comes to a zone, when I'm teaching them a new zone. So I will set up a 5-out offense, and I will show you them the options that they have. The most basic version of the 2-3 zone, as a coach, if I was to run this with a youth team, I do not want any of my players to be starting outside of the key. This is because with younger teams, I'm talking 9, 10, 11-year-old teams, they are very difficult shooters. They generally don't shoot very well from the perimeter, unless you're obviously the team that I coach, the 11U team that I coach, in which case we kill it from the three-point line and teams pull out of their zones extremely quickly. However, once a team shows that they prove to us that they can shoot, we then run one player out of the key at a time. For example, if the pass gets sent over to player 3, player 2 needs to sprint, and then player 1 needs to cover that high post. If the pass goes over to player 4, player 2 goes back to the key, and player 3 sprints out, player 5 fills over, player 4 fills the middle of the key. We do not want any layups in that key. If this pass gets sent back out, one player out, he covers that side. These players start rotating over. Now, this is not a conventional 2-3 zone. This is for little kids who have trouble shooting more than 15 feet outside of the rim. If you are playing up against a team that can shoot threes and still attack that rim, this next zone would be for you. This is a 3-2 zone. There's 3 players up top and 2 players in the bottom. If the ball is up top, we have player 1, man on. We have player 3, 1 big step away, as if they're playing man. We have player 2, 1 big step away, as if they are playing man. And then we have player 4, 2 big steps away, because he's 2 passes away, like if he's playing man-to-man. And then we have player 5, who is 2 steps away, because he's 2 passes away as well. This is why I like to teach man-to-man defense first before I go into zones, because now we can make it look like if we are running a man-to-man at first. So a simple pass and cut would have player 1 cut, player 1 red would follow him down until the free throw line, so that it takes away the option to be able to pass the ball to him. And because he passed to this side, he has to fill out here, which means that when he fills out and player 3 moves up, player 1, we want him to be either in deny or 1 step away, so that he is still close enough to be able to pick that pass off. We would then want player 3 to be 2 steps away, because he's 2 passes away, and player 5 is going to be now 3 steps away, because he is 3 passes away. Player 4 is going to close out, and he is going to be 1 step away, because he is 1 pass away. Meanwhile, player 2 is man on. Player 2 passes over to player 5. Player 2 cuts, because most teams will be running a pass and cut. Player 2 red, he is going to be following his man down until he gets to the free throw line extended. Player 5 needs to come over to jam that pass. Player 3 is going to fill, 4 fills, 1 fills, 2 clears out. When this happens, player 2 is again in deny. We have player 1 who is 2 big steps away. We have player 3 who is 3 big steps away, and then we have player 5, who is, again, 4 to 5 steps away. We look like a man-to-man defense. However, we are not a man-to-man defense. We are a zone defense. A traditional 3-2 zone will have player 5 and 4 guarding these areas. Generally speaking, most coaches will have player 2 and 3 guarding these spots and 1 guarding the top. Some coaches will have player 5 and 4 stretch out, 3 and 2 stretch out, and 1 guarding the top. The idea here is the gaps is double team locations, and we really don't want any passes into the high post. So if we were running it like this, we would have player 2 and 4 trapping, 5 would move over, 1 would move over, player 3 moves over to the high post. This is because now player 1 needs to guard the man on the edge of his zone. 4 and 2 are trapping. 5 needs to come over and help player 4's spot. And player 3 is there for any of the long passes. This is another option, but with maybe a little bit older of teams. The 2-3 zone and the 3-2 zone are some of the most popular zones and some of the most easiest zones to beat. So keep that in mind. If you are going up against a coach who knows what he is doing, and he's maybe already taught his team some zone offenses, you are going to be at a massive disadvantage. If the other team scores 2, 3, 4 times on you, maybe it's time to switch back into your man. This is why I also say teach man-to-man defense first, because both of these strategies force the other team to do different offenses. They have to attack the defense in different ways. This is why I like zone at young ages, as long as you teach them man-to-man defense first. Anyways, I hope that you've enjoyed today's video. Hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys again next time.